Hello and welcome back, or welcome. And we're going to be working on the thief this time. So let's select her. This model is going to change because this model, once loaded into the game, uh, sort of like the previous guy I had to get rid of, except her nav mesh agent is being recognized, but she does not go where she's supposed to when clicked to go there. Excuse me. So, yeah, she is way off, so we had to change her model again. And I'm glad I did because now we got this chick here. And she's also Mixamo, like everybody else, but she actually works properly. Um, I Frankensteined her model like I do with a lot of things. She had a skirt, I got rid of it. She had a giant cape that went down to her feet. I got rid of that part of the cape. She had arrows sticking up, I got rid of them. So now this is our thief. All right. And if she were to go click on one of these guys, she can go attack them as normal, like everybody else, with a sort of slashing melee attack and chances to miss and all that. But she, like I said in the beginning of the series, I wanted the thief to work with stealth and traps. And we're focusing on her stealth mode in this episode. And I didn't make the panel for her yet where she could select skills, but she'll have stealth as one of her skills and then traps as other skills. And if I click stealth, it would make the stealth skill active. So what I did is I just made it active by default. And now with that skill active, if I click the right mouse button, she goes into stealth mode. And you'll see she's almost like a ghost here. And she's in a crouching kind of ninja stealth pose. Her speed gets much slower when she's stealth, so if we come back out of it, you'll see she's much faster. And then we go back in and she's slow. But in stealth mode, she can perform stealth kills, which basically one-shot an enemy. So let's go kill this guy stealth-wise. Boom, stealth kill. And then if I unstealth, they'll see me. Right now they don't even detect me, but if I unstealth, oop, here I am. They'll come after me, and I can stealth again, and they don't know what to do. So if I unstealth, like I said, you can go attack them like a normal melee attack. And if you hear that fire crackling sound, that's from me setting them on fire in the last video. I didn't realize I needed to take that sound off it, so they're playing a fiery sound. When they get close, I need to remove that. But, oop, where am I? Boom, you'll never know, you're dead. So that's the stealth skill and the stealth kill. See, that he doesn't even know I'm here. So, let's check that out, shall we? All right. So, in the code, like I said, I'm giving each character their own base script now, because they were originally all using click to move, but now I'm giving them each their own. It's basically the same as click to move, but certain things change for each character. I'm not going to go over what's been done previously in other controllers because it's all the same, and we're just going to focus on what's new. All right, so for instance, down here, I added a public audio clip for the stealth sound for when you go in and out of stealth mode. And down here, we have a private skinned mesh renderer array because this character has like 3 skinned mesh renderers on it that needs to change for the stealth material. We call it renderers. We declare 2 public materials, one for the default and one for stealth. We create a public bool called stealth active, and this is false, but in the inspector it's true. Like I said, I made it true. and active for this video. Okay, but it will be false, and you'll have to, click your skill panel and select it, and then it would be true. And then we've got another bool public for stealth mode, and when stealth is active is true. Stealth mode can be toggled on and off with the right mouse button. So that's what those do. Then we have two public runtime animator controllers, and we have one called stealth and one called unstealth. I gave her two controllers so that way she could do the crouch ninja stealth stuff in one when she's stealthed, and then do the normal idle and movement and slash attack when she's not stealth. So we just switch off those controllers on her animator component. Then in the start, we take that renderers we created, the array, and we get components and children of the skin mesh renderers. The rest of this is the same. Then in the update, the left click is the same, and the right click, we get the input mouse button down, okay, because we only want it to click once, and then we toggle, if stealth is active true, we toggle stealth mode either true or false. So either enter stealth or exit stealth, depending on what we're in right now. And then down here in if temp enemy equals null, does not equal null, I'm sorry, that means we clicked on an enemy. So now everything's the same until we get down to this point. Okay, normally it would have just been these 4 lines right here, but I've added an if and else statement to see if I'm in stealth mode. And if I am, then we play that stealth kill stabbing animation, jabbing animation, whatever it is. And if not, then it goes back to whatever was normally happening with the slashing in the previous tutorials. So that's it. It's a new if and else instead of just checking this. And we play the stab instead of slash if we're stealthed. Then the rest of this is the same. Then we've got the two functions I mentioned up in the update, enter stealth and exit stealth. In enter stealth, we take the agent.speed and decrease it by half. So it was 6 without being stealth, we set it to 3. We get the anim.runtime animator controller and equal it to the stealth one. I showed you that up top. Then we run a for each loop and create a variable called R in renderers, and for each R it finds, it sets R dot shadow casting mode equal to shadow casting mode dot off. So when you go stealthed, you stop casting shadows. Okay. And then it sets the material to stealth material. Plays the stealth sound, and then sets stealth mode to true. In the public void exit stealth, we set the agent speed back to 6, where it was originally. We set the controller to the unstealthed controller. We do another for each loop and variable R in renderers. And for each R we find, we set the casting shadow mode back to on and the material back to the default material. Then we play the stealth sound again for exiting stealth and set stealth mode back to false. And that's basically it. And just like the slash animation on everybody else, the check for hits is done inside the animation in an animation event when you're doing the one-shot kill. And if we go down to this, we're checked for hit, and that's the function that runs in the animation event. It's all the same, except down here we check to see if stealth mode equals true. And if it does, we do an attack damage of 1,000. So it's basically a death sentence for anybody. I'm going to lower this, and then when you click on and add points to stealth kill, the damage will rise. But I put it up real high just for fun. Okay, so that's what's new here. We've got a if stealth mode equals true, and then it runs basically the same code except we increase the damage. If it's not true, then it goes back to the way it was for melee for everybody else so far. And it does the same thing. And for attack damage, it goes back to the normal damage of random between min and max damage for normal melee attacks. And then in the enemy, certain things have changed, so let's check that out. All right, and we're only going to deal with what's different, which isn't a lot, but let's see. Okay. Down on the update, where we check if current health is greater than 0, we do a check now. We took out, we added an if and else statement inside here that wasn't there before. And what we're checking for is if the class chosen equals 5, which is the thief, and the player get component thief, which is the script on the thief, dot stealth mode equals true, then we don't want to detect them. So we just keep idling and the agent is stopped to true. Else, if we're not stealthed, it does what it normally would have done before. And this is all the same as was on the enemy controller before. And then down in there, check for hits. All right. The only thing really different is down here when it does the physics raycast to check for what it's hitting. We've added these if statements inside the hit collider compared to player, so if we're hitting the player. Now we check to see what player we're hitting. If the class chosen equals 3, we've hit the archer, which means you're playing with the archer, and we get that component, script archer, and tell it to take damage. And we do that for each class. Ooh, why'd you do that? And we do that for each class. So 3 is the archer, 4 is the sorceress, 5 is the thief, 6 is the blood witch, and depending on what character we're playing with, and we know what class chosen, we know it, so we check it. And then whatever class is being played, we get their script, and we tell them to take damage. And that's the only thing that's changed, is checking the classes there. And that should be it for the enemies differences. And that's it. That's it. So, yeah, we can chalk this up to a real quick and easy one. Like I said, I want the thief to work with stealth and traps. So in the next one, we'll deal with some traps she could set. And I'm not going to let you um, lay traps when you're stealth, because that would be too OP. So, stealth will be one skill, and then certain traps will be each their own skill. So if you're picking a trap you want to lay, you're clearly going to be overriding the stealth skill, and you won't be able to use stealth. All right, but the stealth skill kill is super cool, and this material is just a material I found. Uh, it's a shader I found in the asset store, and I can show you that real quick. Let's do one more stealth kill because it's really cool. Wow, you're dead. Okay. So yeah, let's see that material real quick. I'm keeping stuff I get from basically the asset store in a folder called Store Assets. And this right here is where that shader is. I got it from the asset store, and it was called the Ultimate 10 Plus Shaders, and it was free. And inside that, if you go into the materials and unique, I use the force field. Okay. And it uses a Fresnel. So as you can see, she's basically invisible and fully transparent. So I mean, we could raise that up. Like say if we put this to 1. Okay, now you can see it down here better if we play it. Okay, so now, yeah, you can see the effect a lot better. You can see that kind of scrolling effect going on it much better. But she doesn't look stealth to me, so that's why I had it down lower. I think mine was maybe a little too low, so maybe like there, 0.4. But I mean, that's up to you, whatever you want to put on yours if you're going to use that particular effect. And even that 0.4 is still a little, but I mean, it is nice to be able to see the player and what they're doing too. And they still won't detect you no matter what the power is you put on that for no. But that's still a little much for me. So let's go to 0.1. Oh, 0.2. Let's try that. That looks like it might be actually perfect. 0.2. Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, you can see she's stealth and they can't detect you still, but yeah. So yeah, that's a matter of your own personal preference, whatever you want your character to look like when they're stealthed. If you're going to use this in your game, so that is the thief and the stealth mode and the stealth kill. And in the next one, we'll keep working on the thief. I'll create the panel for her and some skill buttons, and we'll add some trap skills for her to use as well in the next one. So if you're not subscribed, do that now. What are you waiting for? Subscribe and hit that bell icon, and you'll get notified when the next part drops. And I'm going to ask you to please go and click the like button right now, all right? Because it's a free and easy way for you to show support for me and this channel for all the hard work I'm doing bringing this series to you. So thank you for doing that. You know, I'm going to thank you in advance for going and hitting the like button for me right now. And, you know, if you subscribe, thank you for that. I want to say thank you to all the recent subscribers I've gotten since this series started. You guys rock, and all of the subscribers so far rock. I love you guys, and yeah, until next time when we make some traps, peace out.